Let's get this figured out. This world gon' give me whatever I need until I get this vision out. Then they gon' pay me whatever I ask, cause I got it figured out. Family be checking all up on a nigga to see how I'm feeling now. Damn, they love to see a nigga really make a killing now. I put a lock on the game and I hide the code and the keys. I am not playing no games, I really play this shit for keeps. That shit for me.
MaddenHeadz YouTube. What's going on? It is your boy, Coach DC, coming back at you today with another video. And yeah, man, we can talk about deceleration and how it affects your change of direction. And I know in Madden, I mean, it's historically, it's a speed game. You know, everybody wants speed, everybody wants speed. But a lot of these cuts and stuff that you see me do, or a lot of these mechanics that you see me perform in these highlights, or the, you know, it's a lot of this stuff is really acceleration and deceleration. A lot of it, in my opinion, what gets me to be able to break is the deceleration a lot. So a lot of times you'll see a move like that, and if you see it in fast, you know, in regular speed, it just looks like a subtle little hezzy. But what you have to understand is, like, I'm actually slowing myself down going into these moves, squeezing L2. Now we're just talking, you know, ball in hand right now. And so you're going to be able to perform a lot better change of direction or skill move, as they call it, if you slow down first. And it could just be a little subtle slowdown, like a little pop of the L2, like right there. And you see that little shuffle right there. And so to me, it's like toggling. So you're really kind of toggling little pops between L2 and R2 at different times. You know, when you had the ball in your hands, like on a play like that, you're running a stretch and you see the safety coming down, over pursuing a little bit, and you just want to kind of slow yourself down. Now here is Doc J. I was actually teaching Doc J this, you know, while we was in this session, and just watch his moves. Watch how he takes advantage of the space in front of him and see the effect that it has on the defenders when you slow down. Not with a full squeeze of L2, but like I said, just little pops and little inflections. Of course, you're gonna be using stick pressure at that point in time as well. And so just like watch the way I'm able to stop, a little bit of body lean right there. And then once you re-accelerate, it seems to me that even the slower backs or even the slower players are able to, you know, break away and break for the distance, you know, just in these little tight spaces. And to me, that's where it works the best, in the tight spaces, you know, where you're able to just slow down and kind of maybe let the guys over pursue a little bit, find that alley and then turn it up and get gone. And so it's just a lot of different ways that it affects you. And I mean, it also affects you in terms of when you click on. So, I mean, we've actually had a video about that. So when you click on, like, let's say if you're coming towards the catch radius or whatever, if you're able to kind of slow yourself down just for a half a second, as long as you know it's not maybe a deep ball or something you have to try to get to, but if you're able to slow yourself down, and even in those deep ball situations, if you can judge the catch radius just right, a slight squeeze of the L2 to decelerate will kind of like, it'll almost create a little bit of space between you and the defender when the animation point comes, you know, for you to go for the catch or whatever. So like right here, you know, those are some of the most difficult catches to make, those seam routes where those safeties are pressing in from the the corners are pressing in from the outside. But I mean, in a lot of these other situations, when these guys are in these bail technique kind of cover threes, you want to be able to slow your guys down, even on the comebacks and curls. If you can kind of decelerate, you know, right before you're going for the catch, you see how it just creates just a little bit of space. And I'm telling you, like that, Madden is played vertically, as you see right here as we're looking at the screen, except for those weird guys who play at the blimp angle. No, I'm just messing with one of my partners, man. He does that. I always tell him how weird it looks. But all right. But you see, like, just the ability to kind of decelerate a little bit is gonna create space because of the vertical angle that we view the screen. So vertically, it's kind of hard for a defender to judge the spot or judge if you're slowing down as an offensive guy. You know, that's why I tell guys, don't play the receiver, play the spot. You know what I mean? So if you're playing the spot or just short of the spot, if you understand the catch radius on offense and you understand it on defense, it'll prevent you from kind of pulling yourself out of situations. Now, this is Madden, so things happen. But as you see on a lot of these highlights, the defenders are in good spots. It's just that I know if they're playing me even or over the top, I know I'm able to slow myself down and able to get myself into a situation where I'm gonna animate back towards the football in some capacity. So it's really just about playing the space, like right there. You'll notice on a lot of the defenders, when they click on to the guy, if they're clicking on late, they actually animate away because they're not coming back towards the football. So right there, that was just nasty. Just like leaned into him and just bited him off and went right back to the ball. Just a little pop, L2, R2. And it's like those little inflections, especially on those post routes when that safety is bearing down on you in the middle, you want to be able to turn and get that space right there. Just it's unfair, you know, with a tight end like Pitts, you know, at that height, you know, and those kind of abilities and stuff. And so it's like you can stop yourself and launch yourself into the animation before the defender is able to, you know, click on and kind of come back forward. Even the AI guy, it doesn't even matter. Like I said, if they're not clicking on to the defender, then they're just leaving that up to Madden. So you're going to win. You know, if you have enough of those battles, if you get really proficient at this, you're going to win enough of those battles where you're basically going to force the guy into clicking on, you know. And so like in those situations right there, you want to kind of keep that guy kind of held in space. You don't want to animate too far up or too far back or too far anywhere. It's like you just want to, right there, you just hold him off just enough. If you slow up and then go right back, L2, R2, pop right back into the catch, whichever catch animation you're going for, you're going to see how it kind of actually gives you like the gather step kind of action where you're just taking that step. And even in a lot of cases when you're going for the sidelines, you probably want to start holding the stick away just with a little bit of slight L2 to slow him down so that you don't turn him all the way back around, but you still want him to go in that direction. Now, I mean, it's just like in every case, like even holding him in bounds, again, in that situation, just full L2 squeeze, pulling the stick back towards the ball. Now, on defense, you see like the change of direction sometimes in Madden, you know, for a long time, like before I really figured that part out, I would overrun plays. It's like I would be able to always get my guy, have a bleeder, always be able to get my guy in a position, but not be able to stop him in case the guy was throwing behind me. But that's just not a problem on defense. It's critical with the user that you are able to decelerate, especially, you know, guys running those crossing routes. You want to get yourself in a place where you're not overrunning it, in a place where you can come downhill on the ball. As such, like, you know, if you really put yourself in the proper position, you know, once you square your hips, or once you square your shoulders rather, and you're in that strafe position where you're looking back for the ball, you know, you had to start reading the routes or anticipating the routes as it's coming across, you know, whichever side. So let's say on that one, it was going right to left. Once I was able to square up, I was able to decelerate enough to turn my hips, but then accelerate enough to come back in front of the ball, you know, at the proper angle, playing the spot, not the receiver. I mean, that is critical. You have to understand, guys, do not play the receiver, play the spot. Anyway, man, appreciate each and every one of you guys. It is your boy, Coach DC 404. I am out.